Hey, Daddy-O! I was inspired by your last video, No Noise, to also do a video about no noise. You were talking about the noise in your head, or in everybody's head, I guess, but I started thinking, what does no noise actually sound like to the human ear? And what was the loudest noise a human ever heard? Because, arguably you would say, like, no noise is the vacuum of space, and the loudest of noise is probably like a supernova or like a black hole exploding or something, some crazy crap. That's like a cosmological, astronomical level of sound that, I don't think any of us could ever comprehend or experience because we'd probably just die instantly. However, like, I'm sure there's like, what's the quietest thing that's ever been heard? And what was the loudest thing that's ever been heard? And would it be cool to experience those things? So let's check this out. But first, let's have a moment of silence for the title screen. That was a good moment of silence. Okay, let's get to it. So let's search, what is the quietest thing on Earth? Oh, here we go. The quietest place on Earth looks absolutely
menacing.
Oh my god, look at this place.
It's diabolical. It's menacing. It's inconceivably
pokey. Holy crap, we gotta read about this thing, man. Okay, the quietest place on Earth will drive you crazy in 45 minutes.
Crazy.
Inside the room is so silent that the background noise measured is actually negative decibels. Everybody seems to be looking for a little peace and quiet these days, but even such a reasonable idea can go too far. The quietest place on Earth, an anechoic chamber in Orfield Laboratories, Minnesota, is so quiet that the longest anybody's been able to bear it is 45 minutes. Inside the room, it's silent. So silent that the background noise measured is actually negative decibels. Negative 9.4 decibels. What? Is that like negative sound? Like, is it quieter than space? So Stephen Orfield at the lab's founder apparently, said, "We challenge people to sit in the chamber in the dark. One person stayed there for 45 minutes. When it's quiet, your ears will adapt. The quieter the room, the more things you hear. You'll begin to hear your heart beating. Sometimes you can hear your lungs, hear your stomach gurgling loudly. In the anechoic chamber, you become the sound. You become the only thing producing noise in this tortured chamber of doom that looks like it came from some awful torture movie." What? Okay, so basically this chamber of doom is the quietest place on the planet. Recorded. Maybe there's somewhere quieter. But thus far, the chamber of doom, menacing madness that will make you go mad. Doesn't get quieter than that. So let's explore now, what's the loudest thing on the planet? Back to the Google. What is the loudest?
Krakatoa.
Let's check this out. The 1883 Krakatoa eruption. The explosion heard round the world, and the loudest sound ever. First of all, the loudest sound ever was a volcano, which I guess makes sense, but I wouldn't have imagined that. That's a very interesting thing to think about, because, I don't know, I just think about, it's basically an explosion, but apparently this one was something else. Like, was that recorded, or were they just going off of like hearsay and what people experienced at the time? I don't know. Let's move forward and find out. The earthquakes, weather events, and tsunamis caused by the Krakatoa eruption were felt even thousands of miles away. So apparently, yeah, like, it was just people giving their account, like, yeah, there was a huge sound from this freaking thing thousands of miles away. They have accounts of that. That's insane. So at 10:02 a.m., like, how were they that precise in the 1800s? Krakatoa erupted with a sound that is to date considered the loudest sound ever, clocking in at 310 decibels. Hold on. We gotta reference this with something else really quick. Okay, so let's see. So mid-range, sounds that we're familiar with. 80 to 89 decibels. Sounds above 85 decibels are harmful to humans. Keep that in mind. 85 decibels would be like heavy traffic outside, air conditioner, a noisy restaurant, a lawnmower. So that's about 85 decibels. What is 130? Stock car races? Okay, what's this? Oh, gunshots rank in at about 140, which is why you should wear ear protection when you go to the shooting range, I suppose. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then 310, basically like double a gunshot was what was heard. Like, how do you even fathom what that would sound like? I guess you wouldn't. It'd probably just explode your eardrums. Or in this case, since it's a volcano, you'd probably just be exploded, period.
Menacing.
Experts believe that anyone standing within 10 miles of the explosion would have been rendered instantly deaf. Yeah, so basically what I was just theorizing. You would have just been like, you probably wouldn't even have heard anything. You would have just felt pain, I'm sure, from your eardrums just being eviscerated. The eruption was loud enough to be heard by residents in Perth, Australia, which is about 2,000 miles away, as well as residents of the island of Rodriguez, which is 3,000 miles away. So people heard this volcano explosion thousands of miles away. Tsunamis caused by Krakatoa reached 98 feet tall. A pressure wave from the third explosion traveled over 670 miles out from the island. I'm in Salt Lake, you're in Las Vegas. You would have felt a pressure wave of the explosion from here to Las Vegas, an 8-hour drive. You would have felt just the explosion. And again, like, I don't know how accurate their measuring instruments were at the time, but either way, I don't know if I want to experience that loudness, because you probably wouldn't experience it as much as your ears would just start bleeding, or you'd just be gonzo. But, like, I don't know, maybe we could go to this death chamber and experience that one day. I don't know, that'd be kind of cool. And maybe that'll be a challenge for us. Go to an anechoic chamber and see how long we can last. Any hoozles, thanks for joining me on this journey of sound and noise, and exploring what's the quietest and what's the loudest sound that a human could experience. I will see you next time, and remember, as always, love ya. Hey, thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more videos of me, click on the top right. If you want to see some videos of my dad, click on the top left. Click the like button if you liked the video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to stay connected. And clicking the bell icon will help YouTube keep you notified of our activities. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon.